Every screen on Earth flickered at once. Television broadcasts, computer monitors, smartphones, and digital billboards all displayed the same image: a stern face that wasn't human. The being had gray skin that looked like polished stone, 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and no visible nose or ears. "People of Earth," the alien said in perfect English, "I am High Commander Drez of the Dominion. Your world is now part of our empire." In the White House Situation Room, President Wilson grabbed the edge of the table. "How are they broadcasting on every channel?" No one answered. They were all watching the alien continue his speech. "The Dominion rules over 300 worlds across this sector of the galaxy. Resistance is pointless. We require tribute. You will provide 5% of your planet's mineral resources and 10,000 humans for labor each year. You have 30 Earth days to deliver your first payment. Instructions will follow." The screens went dark. Then normal broadcasts returned as if nothing had happened. For 10 seconds, no one in the Situation Room spoke. Then everyone started talking at once. "Get me confirmation this was real," the president ordered. General Adams stepped forward. "Sir, our deep space monitoring stations detected a massive ship entering orbit just before the broadcast. It's still there. Why didn't we see it coming? It appeared suddenly, sir, like it came out of nowhere." 3 hours later, leaders from every major nation gathered in an emergency video conference. Fear gave way to anger, then to determined planning. "We cannot simply hand over our people," said the German chancellor. "Nor our resources," added the Chinese president. "But we must be careful. We know nothing about their weapons." Captain James Walker stood at the back of the room, listening. At 35, he was the youngest officer ever appointed to lead Earth's small space defense force. Not that their handful of orbital platforms would do much good against aliens who could travel between stars. "Captain Walker," called the president, "your thoughts." Walker stepped forward. "Sir, I think we need more information before we decide anything. We should try to talk to them, learn about them, find out their weaknesses." "Their weaknesses?" Someone laughed. "They crossed light years to get here." Walker shook his head. "Even advanced civilizations have flaws, and something doesn't add up. If they're so powerful, why ask for tribute? Why not just take what they want?" The room grew quiet as people considered this. "They're giving us 30 days, Walker continued. "That means we have time to prepare and to learn." The president nodded slowly. "Captain, I'm putting you in charge of a special task force. Your job is to find out everything you can about these Dominion aliens." As the meeting ended, Walker felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. In the hallway, he was approached by Dr. Emma Reed, Earth's leading xenobiologist. "So we're really doing this?" she asked. "Trying to outsmart beings who can travel between stars?" Walker looked at her. "They may have better ships, but that doesn't mean they're smarter than us. Humans have one advantage. We've spent our entire history adapting and overcoming. It's what we do best." Reed smiled slightly. "Well, Captain, I hope you're right. Because starting today, humanity needs to adapt faster than ever before." Above them, visible through a window in the ceiling, the stars shone down. Somewhere up there, the Dominion ship waited for Earth's answer. An answer they wouldn't be expecting. 1 week after the broadcast, the Dominion sent a small ship to Earth. It landed on the flat grounds outside the United Nations building in New York. World leaders and military personnel waited nervously as the ship's door opened with a hiss of steam. 3 aliens walked out. The one in front was taller than the others, wearing a red uniform with strange symbols. This was Ambassador Krell. "I am here to assess your world's ability to provide tribute," Krell announced without any greeting. His voice was deep and scratchy. "Show me your best technology and resources." Captain Walker stood beside President Wilson, watching the alien carefully. Walker noticed something important. Krell was wearing a breathing mask. Earth's air wasn't right for him. "That's a weakness," Walker whispered to Dr. Reed, who stood nearby with scanning equipment hidden in her jacket. The world leaders took the aliens on a carefully planned tour. They showed them older factories and technology, hiding their most advanced sites. It was Walker's idea. Make the Dominion think humans were less advanced than they really were. At a steel factory, Krell looked bored. Primitive, he said, touching a computer system with 3 of his 7 fingers. Your species is barely out of the Stone Age. President Wilson pretended to look offended, but later he smiled at Walker. It's working. They're underestimating us. That night, Walker and Reed met in a secure room under the Pentagon. Reed placed a small device on the table. I got readings from their ship and their bodies, she said excitedly. Their technology isn't as advanced as we thought. Their ships use a form of energy that's similar to our nuclear power, just more refined. Walker leaned forward, so we could potentially understand it. Maybe even copy it? Given time, yes, Reed said. But I found something else even more interesting. She showed Walker a scan of Krell's body. They have a weakness in their nervous system. Their bodies can't handle certain sound frequencies. It seems to hurt them badly. Walker nodded slowly. Information like this could be crucial if things go bad. The next day, Krell demanded to see Earth's military bases. Walker led him to an old army training ground with outdated tanks and planes. This is your defense force. Krell laughed, all 4 of his eyes blinking at different times. The Dominion's smallest warship could destroy all of this in minutes. Walker kept his face calm. We are a peaceful planet. We've never needed strong weapons. Krell seemed pleased by this. Good. Peaceful planets make obedient subjects. As they walked back to the alien ship, Krell spoke more openly. Some worlds try to fight when we first arrive. It never ends well for them. The smart ones, like you seem to be, simply accept their place and pay tribute. How many worlds have fought back? Walker asked casually. Not many lately. Most know the Dominion's reputation. Krell paused. Our empire grows larger every cycle. It takes much effort to manage so many worlds. Walker filed this information away. The empire was big, maybe too big to control properly. On the final day of their visit, Krell handed President Wilson a small device. This will tell you where to send your tribute ships. Remember, 30,000 tons of minerals and 10,000 humans. Don't be late. After the alien ship left Earth's atmosphere, Walker met with the world leaders. Well, asked the president. Walker smiled for the first time in days. Their technology is impressive, but not magical. They're stretched thin across too many worlds, and they've completely underestimated us. So what do we do? Asked the Chinese president. We give them their tribute, Walker said with a determined look, but not exactly the tribute they're expecting. 29 days after the Dominion's first message, Earth launched its tribute ships. 5 massive cargo vessels blasted off from different launch sites around the world, carrying the demanded minerals. They looked like simple transport ships, but each one hid a secret. Are the monitoring devices working? Walker asked, standing in the secret control room built underneath NASA headquarters. Dr. Reed checked her screens. All systems online. Each ship is sending back data about Dominion space routes and technology. The tribute ships also carried something else. Volunteers. Not the slave labor the Dominion expected, but soldiers and scientists who had agreed to go undercover. Each person carried hidden recording equipment. If anyone could get inside information about the Dominion, it would be them. President Wilson entered the room. How's it going? So far, the Dominion suspects nothing, Walker replied. They're guiding our ships to different parts of their territory. Within a week, data began flowing back. The volunteers sent secret messages when they could. One of the scientists, Dr. Morris, had been taken to a Dominion research station. His message made everyone in the control room gasp. The Dominion's empire is bigger than we thought, Walker said, reading the report, but they're having trouble controlling it all. Many worlds are on the edge of rebellion. Reed pointed to another screen. Look at these engine readings. Their faster-than-light technology isn't that different from theories our scientists have been working on. With this data, we might be able to build our own ships. Walker nodded, but his mind was elsewhere. I need to get out there. See the Dominion for myself. 3 days later, Walker and a small team of Special Forces soldiers hit aboard the 6th tribute ship. They had built a secret compartment that wouldn't show up on Dominion scans. The mission was extremely dangerous. If caught, they would certainly be killed. After 2 days in space, the Dominion ships guided them to a space station orbiting a distant moon. While the Dominion officers checked the cargo, Walker and his team slipped out in special suits that blocked body heat from sensors. Stay together, Walker whispered through his helmet radio. Remember the layout we studied. They moved through dark maintenance tunnels, placing small devices on data terminals. These would copy Dominion information and send it back to Earth using a new transmission method Dr. Reed had developed. In a large command room, Walker saw something unexpected, a group of aliens who weren't Dominion. They looked more like tall insects with green skin and large eyes. They were working as servants, bringing food to Dominion officers. One of these aliens noticed Walker. For a tense moment, Walker thought he would alert the Dominion. Instead, the alien made a strange hand gesture and turned away. He saw me but didn't report us, Walker whispered to his team. Interesting. Before leaving the station, Walker took a risk. He approached one of the insect-like aliens who was alone in a storage room. My name is James Walker. I'm from Earth, he said carefully. The alien looked surprised but not afraid. Earth, the new tribute world. His English was broken but understandable. Yes, but we don't plan to stay that way. Does your world also pay tribute? The alien's large eyes blinked rapidly. For 200 years, we are the Arcani. Dominion took everything from us. Walker pulled out a small device. If you want to talk more, use this. It's a secure communicator. The Arcani took it, hiding it quickly. Dominion is not as strong as they say. Too many worlds, too few ships now. Walker smiled. That's exactly what I hoped to hear. 2 hours later, Walker and his team were back on the tribute ship, returning to Earth with valuable data and an even more valuable contact. Earth's deception was working better than anyone had dared to hope. 2 months after the first tribute shipment, Captain Walker sat in a secure underground conference room. The walls were lined with screens showing 3 different alien faces. It had taken weeks of secret communication to arrange this meeting. Thank you for joining us, Walker said, looking at each screen in turn. Earth appreciates your trust. On the left screen was Zik, the Arcani that Walker had met on the Dominion station. His insect-like features now seemed almost friendly. In the middle was Brel, a representative of the Voxians, a race of blue-skinned humanoids who had been under Dominion rule for 50 years. The right screen showed Toril, a member of the Meridian species, who resembled large, intelligent felines. We take great risks speaking with you, said Toril, her cat-like eyes narrowing. If Dominion discovers this meeting, our worlds will suffer. Dr. Reed stepped forward. We understand the risk. That's why we've developed this secure communication system. The Dominion cannot detect it. Humans are new to space, Brel observed, his blue skin shimmering under his world's twin suns. Yet you already resist. Impressive. Walker nodded. We've learned that the Dominion rules through fear, not actual strength. Their empire has grown too large to control properly. This is true. Zik clicked his mandibles together. Dominion ships visit our world only twice per year now. Not enough ships to watch all worlds. Walker pressed a button, showing maps of Dominion territory based on data they had collected. We believe that with coordinated action, we could challenge their rule. The 3 aliens looked at each other across their separate screens. This kind of talk was dangerous. For a moment, no one spoke. Finally, Brel broke the silence. What do you propose, humans? An alliance, Walker said simply. Each of our species has different strengths. Together, we might succeed where any one of us alone would fail. Reed displayed the results of her research. The Arcani have advanced biological technology. The Voxians excel at energy systems. Meridians are master strategists. And humans, she smiled, we're adaptable and good at thinking outside the box. What is this box? Zick asked, confused. It means we find unexpected solutions, Walker explained, like how we're going to use the Dominion's tribute demand against them. Walker outlined the plan. Earth would continue sending tribute ships, but each one would carry more advanced monitoring equipment and make contact with resistance groups on other worlds. Meanwhile, Earth would rapidly develop space technology using the Dominion data they had collected. The next time the Dominion comes to your worlds, Walker said, they'll find people ready to fight back with weapons that can hurt them. Toril leaned closer to her camera. My people have waited generations for such a chance. The Meridians will join your alliance. The Arcani also, Zick clicked. We remember freedom, though many do not. Brel was the last to decide. The Voxians have tried rebellion before. Many died. He paused, then nodded firmly. But with allies, perhaps this time will be different. We join you. Walker felt a surge of hope. Then the Alliance of Free Worlds is formed. 3 days later, Walker briefed Earth's leaders on the new alliance. President Wilson looked concerned. This is moving faster than we expected, Captain. Are we ready for this? Walker nodded confidently. The Dominion's tributary system is their weakness. Their ships must visit dozens of worlds to collect resources. They've grown complacent. And our new allies? Asked the Chinese president. Can they be trusted? They hate the Dominion more than we do, Walker said. They've suffered under them for generations. Yes, they can be trusted. As the meeting ended, Dr. Reed approached Walker. The Dominion expects another tribute shipment next month. What will we send them this time? Walker smiled grimly. Something they definitely aren't expecting. 6 months after first contact, Earth had changed dramatically. Hidden factories worked day and night, building technology based on Dominion designs, but improved by human innovation. Captain Walker watched workers assemble a prototype engine in a secret facility buried deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Dr. Reed stood beside him, checking measurements on her tablet. Will it work? Walker asked. Reed nodded. The Voxians' energy designs combined with our materials science made the breakthrough possible. This engine will make our ships faster than anything the Dominion has. Across the room, engineers were fitting weapons into small fighter craft. These weren't ordinary weapons. They were designed to emit the specific sound frequencies that damage Dominion nervous systems. How many ships will be ready in time? Walker asked the facility director. 50 fighters and 5 larger vessels. The director replied. Not enough to fight a war, but enough for what we have planned. Walker's communicator beeped. It was a message from Toril, their Meridian ally. He read it and smiled. Good news. The Meridians have successfully hidden weapons caches on 12 Dominion outposts. When the signal comes, their resistance fighters will be ready. Reed looked concerned. The Dominion is starting to get suspicious about our tribute shipments. They've noticed the mineral content isn't exactly what they asked for. That's why we need to move soon, Walker replied, before they realize what we're doing. Later that day, Walker met with his Special Forces team. 20 men and women from different countries, all trained for space combat. They had been practicing with new suits designed to work in zero gravity. You all know the mission, Walker told them. When the time comes, you'll board the Dominion command ship and take control of their communication systems. That will prevent them from calling for help. A soldier raised her hand. Sir, what if they're expecting us? Then we adapt, Walker said firmly. That's what humans do best. Meanwhile, Dr. Reed was putting the finishing touches on her most important creation. It was a computer virus designed to infect Dominion systems. The virus will spread through their network, she explained to President Wilson. It will shut down their weapons and life support systems for exactly 10 minutes. That's our window. The president looked at the small data drive that contained the virus. Such a small thing to bring down an empire. Sometimes the smallest tools make the biggest changes, Reed replied. As the preparation continued, the Alliance members coordinated their plans. The Arcani had created biological agents that would temporarily incapacitate Dominion soldiers without harming other species. The Voxians had modified their energy shields to protect Alliance ships from Dominion weapons. The date was set. In exactly 14 days, the Alliance would strike simultaneously across Dominion territory. 2 days before the planned rebellion, Walker received an urgent message. The Dominion was sending a larger ship to Earth, a warship. They suspect something, he told the Emergency Council. We need to move up our timetable. Are we ready? The president asked. Walker looked around the room at the determined faces of humanity's leaders. We have to be. The Arcani, Voxians, and Viridians are counting on us. That night, Walker couldn't sleep. He stood on the roof of the facility, looking up at the stars. Somewhere up there, the Dominion ship was approaching, expecting to collect its regular tribute and perhaps punish Earth for any inconsistencies. They had no idea what was waiting for them. Let them come, Walker whispered to the night sky. Humanity is ready to give them their answer. The Dominion warship entered Earth orbit on a clear morning. It was 5 times larger than their previous vessels, bristling with weapons. Its message was simple and cold. Your tribute has been inconsistent. Prepare for inspection and possible punishment. In the underground command center, Earth's leaders watched the giant ship on their screens. The moment they had prepared for had arrived sooner than expected. All units in position, Walker asked, strapping himself into his flight suit. Ready and waiting, his second-in-command replied. Alliance members confirmed they're also prepared to move. President Wilson approached Walker before he headed to his ship. Captain, if this fails. It won't, Walker said firmly. But if things go wrong, our allies will continue the fight. Dr. Reed handed Walker a small device. The virus is ready. You'll need to connect it directly to their main computer core. Walker nodded, tucking the device into a hidden pocket. Just get me on board that ship. Above Earth, the Dominion warship launched 20 smaller vessels. They descended toward the planned tribute collection point, a large field outside of New York City. What they found instead was Walker standing alone in the middle of the field. Behind him were 5 tribute containers, much smaller than what was demanded. The lead Dominion ship landed, and Commander Drez himself emerged. He was taller than Ambassador Krell, with darker gray skin and cold eyes. This is your tribute, Drez growled, pointing at the small containers. Where are the rest of the resources? Where are the human laborers? Walker stood straight, unafraid. Commander, we have a message for the Dominion. A message? Drez laughed harshly. Your message should be an apology, followed by proper tribute. Walker smiled slightly. Our message is simple. Humanity does not pay tribute. Not now. Not ever. Drez's 4 eyes narrowed. Then you will be the first to die. He raised his weapon. Walker pressed a hidden button on his wrist. Now. The 5 tribute containers burst open. Instead of minerals, they contained armed soldiers with advanced weapons. At the same moment, 50 human fighters burst from hidden underground hangars all around the field. Drez fired at Walker, but the shot never reached him. A personal shield, designed using Voxian technology, deflected the blast. What is this? Drez shouted as his soldiers fell under human weapons fire. Walker tapped his communications device. This is the sound of freedom. At that exact moment, across Dominion space, the Alliance struck. On 12 different worlds, the subjugated species rose up against their oppressors. Dominion outposts were attacked by Meridian fighters. Arcani biological weapons disabled Dominion soldiers without firing a shot. Voxian energy systems shut down Dominion power grids. Back on Earth, Walker's team fought their way to Drez's ship. Their new weapons, emitting the frequency that disrupted Dominion nervous systems, made the alien soldiers collapse in pain. "Get to the command ship in orbit," Walker ordered his Special Forces team. "I'll handle things here." Walker cornered Commander Dres, who was trying to escape to a backup vessel. "You cannot defeat the Dominion," Dres snarled. "We rule hundreds of worlds." "Not anymore," Walker replied. "Look around you." On a nearby screen, Dres could see reports flooding in from across his empire. Rebellion everywhere. Communication networks failing. Ships being captured. "This is impossible," Dres whispered. "How did you coordinate all this?" Walker smiled. "You taught us something important when you demanded tribute. You taught us that different worlds can work together. So that's what we did, just not the way you expected." In orbit, Walker's team successfully boarded the Dominion command ship. They fought their way to the control room, where Dr. Reed's virus was uploaded to the main computer. Within minutes, the entire Dominion communication network collapsed. Their empire, built on fear and control, began to crumble without the ability to coordinate their forces. Earth's response had been delivered, and it was changing everything. 1 year after the Day of Rebellion, representatives from 37 formerly enslaved worlds gathered in a new space station orbiting Earth. The station, named Unity, was built using technology from all Alliance species. Captain Walker, now Admiral Walker, stood at the large window overlooking Earth. The blue planet looked peaceful from space, giving no hint of the battle that had changed the galaxy. Admiring the view, Dr. Reed asked, joining him at the window. Walker nodded. Hard to believe how much has changed in just 1 year. The Dominion had collapsed faster than anyone expected. Without their communication network and faced with rebellions on hundreds of worlds, their forces had scattered. Some fought to the end, while others surrendered. Commander Dres had been captured and now faced trial for crimes against multiple species. Ambassador Krell had surprisingly defected to the Alliance, providing valuable information about remaining Dominion strongholds. "The meeting is about to start," Reed reminded Walker. "Everyone's waiting." They walked together to the Grand Council chamber. Around a circular table sat representatives from all the allied worlds. The insect-like Arcani, the blue-skinned Voxians, the feline Meridians, and a dozen other species Walker had come to know in the past year. President Wilson stood to address the gathering. 1 year ago, we faced a threat that seemed unstoppable. The Dominion demanded tribute, expecting us to bow in fear like so many before us. Instead, we chose a different path: cooperation and resistance. The alien representatives nodded and made various sounds of agreement. Today, the president continued, we establish a new order, not an empire built on tribute and fear, but a community built on mutual respect and cooperation. Toril, the Meridian representative, spoke next. For 300 years, my people lived under Dominion rule. Today, we help create something better. One by one, representatives from each world signed the new treaty. It established the Galactic Cooperative, a system where each world maintained independence but worked together for common goals. After the ceremony, Walker found himself speaking with Zik, the Arcani who had first helped him on the Dominion space station. You humans surprised everyone, Zik clicked. Many species pay tribute for centuries before finding courage to resist. Walker smiled. Maybe that was our advantage. The Dominion didn't give us time to learn fear. Later that evening, a celebration was held in Unity's main hall. Representatives from all worlds mingled, sharing food, drink, and stories. Dr. Reed had been appointed head of a new multi-species research initiative focused on improving life across all worlds. To think, she said to Walker as they watched the celebration, all of this happened because the Dominion picked the wrong planet to demand tribute from. Walker laughed. Human stubbornness finally paid off. The next morning, the real work began. Walker took his position as Earth's first ambassador to the new Galactic Council. His first task was establishing trade routes to replace the old tribute systems. Worlds that had been enemies under Dominion rule now became trading partners. 6 months later, the last Dominion stronghold surrendered. The galaxy entered a new era of peace and cooperation. Walker stood on the observation deck of a new ship, the first of many exploration vessels built by the cooperative. Its mission was to explore beyond known space, to find new worlds and new civilizations. "Are we ready to launch, Admiral?" asked the ship's captain, a young woman who reminded Walker of himself a year ago. Walker looked at the diverse crew, humans working alongside Arcani, Voxians, Meridians, and others. This was humanity's true answer to the demand for tribute, not just resistance, but a better way forward for everyone. "Yes, Captain," he said with a smile. "We're ready." As the ship moved away from Unity Station, Walker thought about how one demand had changed everything. The Dominion had ordered humanity to pay tribute. Humanity's answer had created a new galaxy.